Well, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And we doing Filmographies.
You know, we didn't agree upon which episode we were going to do.
No, I know. Yeah, I was just going to kind of throw it at you and see what you said.
I guess since I just watched it, the Charlotte Gray.
Charlotte Gray.
Let's wrap that one up.
It's the last of the Billy Crudups.
Yeah, it is. Forever.
So this is the 13th credit for Mr. Billy Crudup, in which will be the final Billy Crudup that we cover until we draw his name again.
Mm-hmm. Which,
this movie,
Lord willing, won't be the next name.
God, it could happen.
Yeah.
There are so many bad reviews for this movie. Let me give you on the Google synopses. 48% TV Guide, 33% Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
Roger Ebert gave it 2 stars and was really quite mean.
Oh, yeah. I almost actually read his review, but when I looked on this site that was aggregating it, it wasn't there. So I just didn't bother.
It was a good one. He had some good points. Let me give you the synopses. This is a drama set in Nazi-occupied France at the height of World War II. Charlotte Gray tells the compelling story of a young Scottish woman working with the French resistance in the hope of rescuing her lover, a missing RAF pilot. Based on the best-selling novel by Sebastian Faulks, which came out in 1999, and this movie came out in 2001, so pretty fast turnaround. Mm-hmm. Gillian Armstrong is the director. I don't fucking know what else she did. Let me see. Oh, Oscar and Lucinda is what she did right before this. Little Women in 1994.
Oscar and Lucinda. Is that with your gal? What's her name? From Brokeback Mountain?
Oh, Williams? Michelle Williams?
Yeah.
No, it's got Cate Blanchett and Ray Fiennes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't want to... Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
First impressions of how you felt going into it, unless you have something specific here.
No, I was just going to say, this is kind of like a part of like a 3-book trilogy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the capper on the French trilogy. What are the other ones about? Do you know?
Well, so one of the other ones is called Birdsong, and they did a 2-part British TV movie, I guess, for it in 2012, based on the 1993 novel Birdsong. I don't know, it just says Eddie Redmayne is in it and a lady is in it. Doesn't sound like it was very good. And then the other book is called The Girl at Leon Dior, which apparently is maybe in pre-production for another movie.
Wow.
I don't know, man.
This trilogy is really knocking it out.
Isn't it, though? I was kind of like, I don't know about this one.
I did not want to watch this movie.
I will say that it was better than I thought it was going to be, but there were some fundamental issues that I had. One, I hate when they get American actors who have no business doing European accents.
Did you not like Crudup's accent?
Was it even there most of the time?
Oh, man, it was. And I thought it was good.
It kind of
felt
like...
And I think I might just be hypnotized by Billy at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't as bad as like Nicolas Cage in Con Air.
But
it did sort of. But I think the main problem is that
it's your barbecue, Cyrus. I'm just here for some meat. Well, I don't know what he says.
Some shit. Put the bear down, or I'm gonna kill you, or something.
What?
I don't know. I think my biggest problem is that, man, it should have just been in French.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. But
it's odd to trying to determine who's what, because they all sound like British actors
with French accents.
Sorta. Like her
Kinda.
handler. Did he say he should be in Birmingham at one point? I'm like, is he American?
Oh yeah, that guy sounded super, super British.
Like, what is... And then like the dad, I'm like, is he supposed to be French? He's not, though.
It's confusing. You're right. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
I was able to not notice that.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully it was in English because it made it easier to watch, but then there was that other aspect of it where it's like... I don't know. Like, these guys German? I don't know.
Boy, I sure didn't want to see this at all. Not even a little bit. And I thought it was just going to be another fucking dull-ass high-low country. Mm-hmm. I liked it, man.
It was fine.
I was entertained. My expectations were so goddamn low.
Yeah.
But I like Cate Blanchett a lot.
How old do you think her character was supposed to be?
She's like 31 or something around there when she shot it. I would have assumed younger than that.
Because
like
especially
early to mid 20s.
Well, yeah, like when there's that part right before her and the love interest, Peter, is that his name?
Yep.
We only really see 3 separate scenes of them together.
Yeah.
But it's all jammed together. So it's hard to determine how long they'd been together.
I feel like 2 days.
It feels like they met at the party. The scene that we see next of them in bed is like the next morning. And then the third scene where he's like, oh, I might be leaving. And
Could be that night.
Right?
Could be the next night.
But she does this maneuver where she like sweeps around from behind him and curls up in his lap.
Yeah, and she wants to keep him there?
Yeah, and I'm like, this feels very teenaged.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just, Irish. Is she Irish?
Her character is.
That's what I mean. Maybe it's like Irish women.
Scottish. Oh my God.
She's Scottish?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember what the accent was and what they said. Because then she spends the rest of the movie not doing that accent.
But her accent, it's not really super there.
It wasn't. Not as a native speaker. So, she said she went to school in Paris. So she speaks French.
Mm-hmm.
But she's working and living in London. So, it's like, I don't know. Maybe she lost it along the way?
Maybe.
Who knows, man?
Why Cate Blanchett so hot?
I don't know. Did she seem really tall to you in this movie? I felt like she was like really tall in here. So much so that I looked up her height. And she's only 5'8".
Crudup's only 5'9", I think.
And the school teacher is like 4 inches shorter than her. So he must be a tiny guy. But she had on those really big like nurse heels.
Yeah.
At one point, so I'm like, oh, maybe that's what it is. She just felt like a giant.
I was thinking about her so much during this movie, and I was like, is it the eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe her face is just very well put together, and she makeups and hair pieces well. Mm-hmm. But her eyes are,
she's very elegant.
She just sucks me in.
You think those are her natural eye color?
I don't know.
The blue?
There's something about it where you get it at the right angle, and there's something almost spooky.
I paused it very early on, and I was like, God damn, there's still an hour and 56 minutes of this?
I had to sit down and just let it wash over me. I said, this is 2 hours. I was super impressed when I finished it. I was like, wow, I did it.
It didn't feel that long.
No.
It moved at a nice clip.
I was pretty invested after about 20 minutes.
There wasn't anything in there that was like silly or eye-rolling. Yeah, it just kind of breezed by. I thought most of the performances were fine.
Are you doing your thing where you take us through the whole movie?
No, I'm done. No, so the movie starts. She's on a train.
I was gonna say, what we got no podcast if it's just us going.
So
it's good.
I'm already sucked in
because you like trains.
Yeah, and they're riding on this big like aqueduct with a train track on it, and that's actually they use that in Harry Potter at one point. That's what the Hogwarts train drives on, apparently.
You like Harry Potter?
No, I don't. Callie does, but
have you seen them all?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh.
The old man, he's in Harry Potter. He's Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He took over for Richard Harris after he died.
Oh, did he? And now he's played by Jude Law? Is that the same character?
I guess, man.
So she's on a train going through French lavender country.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is very pretty, yeah. I like the opening music. I like the credits were kind of interesting.
A little bit better than Grind?
A little bit.
The Grind music and the Grind credits?
Just a little bit.
A little bit better than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some guy comes into her train car, and he's like, hey, is this, because apparently train cars aren't private. And he sits down, and he seems sort of like a Muppet. Kind of just a fucking British tool. Won't let her just be, and he's not making condescending remarks, but some of the things he says could appear that way, and she takes him as such.
And it doesn't really seem flirty. He's not like trying to bed her.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the feeling you're getting.
No, you're not quite sure what. He's just a flibbity gibbet kind of guy. He's just yakking it up, and so he goes, "Oh, you speak French?" Because he's like just going into her book and shit, and she's just like, "Yeah, dude," He makes light of the invasion. It's World War II is when this takes place. And she's like, hey, what they did to France is not a joke. And he's like, oh, no.
It's no laughing matter. She gets down to it right away, man.
She is. She's a
right.
patriot.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're coming from, but apparently she works in London.
Mm-hmm.
I think she also lives there. She falls asleep. They pull into the station. She wakes up, and he left a business card.
Saying, come to this, a book release party?
I think it just says dinner,
yeah.
But it is a book. I don't know. Yeah, release party or just get together and...
I noticed you were reading a book.
Yeah.
Come to the book party. We have our tips.
And so her and her gal pals, they're going out, and I liked the one who was like, I don't care if any of them are handsome as long as they have good teeth.
I don't care if they're ugly as long as they have good teeth.
Yeah, I fell in love with her immediately.
She's great. Also, why are they going to this party? Like this old guy who was kind of a little obnoxious but nice invites you. And to bring two of your friends with. I don't know. I guess.
I mean, it almost seems like they were going there anyways to me.
Most of the men are in the war. They're
That's the
excited
feeling
that there will be men.
Yeah, I guess. It seems like, yeah, it's some sort of an event. And I assumed, I don't know what they do for a living. I just got the impression that she was going there anyways. And so they get there and she's just like, I'm not really into this. And she's pouring a scotch or some shit into what was it? Vodka? Some drink. She's like, it's too warm. And she pours it into a plant, like a monster, and then throws the glass in there when this Air Force guy comes in. And he's all like, hey, I'm charming. And she's like, yeah, you are. And then his buddy comes in like, man, these ladies are snobs or something. And then he's like, get the fuck out of here.
I got one right here. Come on.
And, but then the old man rears his head and he's like, hey, come on over here. I want to introduce you to some other old men.
She gets yanked away from the Air Force guy.
Yep.
And they sparks, man. You feel it between them.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like her eyes are wide. Mm-hmm. She's locked in. She likes him.
I was kind of silly because I didn't assume that he was the guy. I thought we were already in the thick of it and she's already trying to find her beau undercover or something. Not the case. This is him. So the old guy, he's just kind of like talking, and the dudes he are with are just, they don't give a fuck. They're establishment wonks,
It's boring. She's not into it.
No.
Eventually, after many hours of talking, I assume, she leaves.
Well, so right before that, the guy that told her to come, he makes a comment about how they always need good French-speaking people. And then he looks directly at her and he's like, but passionate people. She's kind of like, huh? And then he leaves. And then she goes out, rushes out after the Air Force guy, Peter, because he leaves. She rushes outside and is looking around in a huff, and he's just sitting there.
He's been waiting.
And he gets up like, oh, hey. And, and then cars driving by, and they're actually playing romantic music to really light the mood. And then they go back to her place, I guess, and sex.
Bone down. I thought there was going to be a lovely walk. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to go slow.
Yeah.
But good for them, man. Get to it. Why waste time?
It's the war, right? And so Nazis already occupy most of France, but they haven't started to really bomb the shit out of London. So although they talk about rations and shit, it's still, they're still living it up and doing the Watusi at book readings and shit, So yeah, then the next morning they're in bed and she's trying to teach him French and jump to them. She's combing his hair and he's like, I think I gotta go. And she's like, well, I'm gonna go be a spy. And he's like, nah, you don't know what war is like, and you just chill here and wait for Peter boy to come back. And she catches wind that he's gone missing. Is that what spurs her to, or does she just decide on her own to join this spy brigade?
I think she decides to do it because, he's over there fighting too.
Right.
I think, she hints at it.
Right.
She gets right to it, but boy, does she fucking fire off when she finds out, he's in danger.
So, she gets a phone call, hey, he's missing, and what, and just chill out, I'll let you know. And she's doing the boot camp shit. She's climbing ropes.
That's a good sequence. I was like, what the fuck's going on? She's already full-on army spy lady?
Yeah, and they got guns, and they're like, left foot, and they thrust forward and point the gun at the foot and the heart and all that shit. And then she finally gets a call from the dude. I don't know if it's the old dude or who it is, but he's like, I can't tell you where he is. Okay, I'll tell you where he is, but please don't tell anybody. And so she knows where her boyfriend is. A prisoner, or he's injured or something. So when they say, hey, we got to send somebody over to do a mission, she's like, I'll do it. And the guy's like, I don't know, and she convinces them. So then they fucking shoot her out of an airplane and she parachutes down. And two boys are running around playing, and they, oh my God, this lady fell from the sky. And
Germans.
Yeah, she's got a Lego minifigure helmet on. It's smooth, and then there's a little poop on top. So then Billy Crudup all of a sudden shows up.
I like how when she pulls off the paratrooper outfit,
mm-hmm.
she's wearing that nice lady outfit. The blend-in outfit is already on, ready to go.
Yeah, and it's funny because it was almost like a costume change on SNL or something. Because some guy grabs the parachute and runs away, the other guy grabs the jumpsuit and runs away, and he takes her to a farmhouse and kind of just gets her acclimated. Do you know where you're going? Blah, blah, blah. Let me see your papers. And
if you see me again outside of this farmhouse, you don't know me.
Yep, I'm a communist, by the way. She's like, cool, I don't know, whatever.
You judge me for my communism beliefs?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do whatever accent he's doing. That's not right at all.
Who judges me for my communism beliefs?
It's Billy Crudup. Did we say Billy Crudup?
Yeah, this was Billy Crudup. Yeah. And he's looking good.
Yeah, he looks great. Always looking great, Billy.
He's got a real freckly face.
Yeah, he does have super frecks.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works for him. His cheeks aren't as pointy.
Gaunt?
Yeah.
I hard disagree.
Do you?
Yeah, he's still doing the cheek thing. I once again was thinking about the fucking cheek thing.
Okay.
I was picturing me interviewing Billy Crudup and being like, listen, this is a weird question, but I want to ask you about your cheeks. You know, is this a running thing? Do you manipulate your diet? Did you know that you had a doughy face and this is your superpowers? Sharp cheeks, gaunt cheeks, cheekbones. I thought about this once again I mean, I've had this exact conversation in my head before.
Yeah. What kind of
Here it is
facial
again.
hair do you think he'd grow?
A mustache?
He seems to have like no trace of
facial
hair.
Is it possible for he did a mustache in Fever Dog, Almost Famous. Russell Hammond's got a fat ass mustache the whole time.
Does he? You think it's his?
Yeah.
Okay. He just doesn't have, I don't know. So anyways, it turns out he's living in the village where she's doing her thing. She's supposed to go to a cafe at some point, and a lady in a blue coat's going to come in and ask her, how's the weather in London? And what does she say?
Not too breezy, Beezy.
Yeah. And then she's supposed to give her this package. And so we're introduced to the little town. You know, there's a teacher who's going to become a nuisance later on, showing the kids through the square. And there's a switchboard operator, because Billy Crudup is some sort of a guy in an office.
Yeah, is he like an architect or what's going on in there?
He's got like a bunch of
He's got his glasses on and he's doing
paper.
something. Yeah.
Like big
Architect.
ass paper. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, right? Some sort of a planner. So, and it looks like the switchboard lady has the eye for him. She's, you know,
Looks at him when he dips out. Yep.
but she's also noticing Cate Blanchett as she walks through the town. So Cate goes to the cafe. She hasn't met her real handler yet. Billy Crudup's just her entry point guy. So she's in the cafe, and all of a sudden the lady comes in, and she's a little spooked. And she does the thing, and she does her thing, and she's like, I think I'm being followed. Don't give me the thing. And she's like, oh, God, what? And then, like, she's about to leave, and then the car pulls up, the police car. So she sits back down, and she's like, give me the thing. I'm like, why would you give her the thing? She's about to be arrested.
Maybe so the other lady doesn't get caught with it. So Cate Blanchett doesn't get caught. I don't know.
It seems odd.
It's intense, though. Her eyes are quite shook.
Oh, yeah.
This performance is good. This lady's great.
Yeah, when they're like, empty your pockets, and they're like, what is that? And she goes, oh, it's a present for my brother. He's like, open it. She can't even open it. The other guy has to do it. Because her hands are just fucking...
Jumbo bumbles.
Yeah, man. And they pull out, like, filament bulbs.
Yeah, I think they're for like a transistor radio or something.
Is that what it is? And
yeah.
like, what is it? Oh, it's for my brother.
You know, glass tubes. They used to power radios and TVs and everything.
I thought it was maybe for like photography or something, but so they're like, get in the car. They whisk her away.
That lady's got some good teary eyes. Not crying, but wet, frightened eyes.
Yeah, and
good stuff.
And then they even go, hey, is this chick with you? That Cate Blanchett? I think her name, Helen McCrory, I think was the actress in the blue coat. And she goes, oh, no, I don't know this lady. And they take her away, and Cate Blanchett is just shook.
Yeah.
So she goes right upstairs to Billy Crudup's office.
God,
He's like, what the fuck?
She's a good cover blower, man.
And the switchboard operator sees her go up, and she's like, Billy? Huh? Lover? Everything okay? And he's like, yeah. Chill out. She's like, I don't know. I don't like this lady. And he's like, what the fuck, you know? And
because she's a stone cold fox, bro. There's a real competition in this tiny village.
Yeah. And, so William's like, hey, I'm going to have to give you a new cover because you're blown. And so he's like, go stay with my dad. He's got an old house. There's two Jewish boys there that so the two Jewish boys, he sees them earlier. Their parents are just missing. So he sends them to live with his dad because, the Nazis basically took them. And at the time, this part of France, what were they calling themselves? Corroborators? Basically, they
Not collaborators?
Collaborators, there we go.
Yeah.
And they probably corroborate too. But they agree to every one of the Nazis' terms as long as they get to self-govern themselves.
That's fucked up. I didn't realize that was what was happening. It's really quite disturbing.
Vichy? That was the name of the region. It was like the free zone. But basically that meant, anything that the Nazis wanted, they allowed. And later on, they even mentioned there's like a quota of Jews that they have to take. And as long as you're less than 1/8 Jewish.
Isn't that crazy how they cut it off?
Yeah.
They're like, all right, if you're 1/8, we don't want to get rid of everybody. So if you're 1/8, you can stay.
And so he's like, go live with my dad. You're his new maid. Take care of them boys. So she gets up there and she's doing that and everything. Billy comes by to see how things are going. And then he's like, we're going to go do some sabotage shit. If you come roll with us. So then they go down and like sabotage a train and like blow it up. I'm like, these bastards.
And start shooting the Nazis on board the train.
Yeah.
There's tanks on that fucking train. It's pretty satisfying when they blow it up.
It is, yeah. And like this guy who kind of looks like Christopher Lloyd runs in gung-ho and he gets shot in the gut.
Blasted. He's got quite the haunted look when they're carrying him away.
Doesn't he,
He's
though?
like still alive.
And he goes, "Or."
I imagine he's good.
He's like, hey, Cate Blanchett, take this old man the fuck out of here. And so then, she meets her dude and he's kind of like giving her some missions or whatever. And the school teacher is still kind of like eyeballing her from afar. I think he's taking a picture of a wedding at one point. And they're like, hey, dude, what do you... Oh, yeah. And he snaps the photo or whatever. And eventually he ends up outside of her house. And he's like looking at her through the window. But, I mean, she's on like the third floor. So as she stands in front of the window, he's pining for her,
Pining, that's what you call it,
Yeah, so, it's harmless.
Oh, yeah.
And, but he knows that the Jewish boys are there too.
Because he hears one of them wake up screaming.
Yep.
So he knows that's where he is.
Yep. And
poor kids are having nightmares. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Their parents are taken away. They're hiding.
Yeah. And they're like, is it our fault? And she's like, oh, God, no, And Billy Crudup is working with a guy he knows at the camp to try to get them out. But he's also estranged from his dad. That we find out later is the dad thinks it's because his mom died when he was like 3 or something. And he blames him, or I don't know what it is. So she eventually gets notice that her handler has some word about her man. And she's supposed to already meet Billy Crudup at 7. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Right before that, because of the train incident, the Nazis are like, we're just coming in and we're just going to take over. And
a whole squadron of them, a train's worth of Nazis.
Yeah, and they're driving their cars through the square, and Billy Crudup's dumbass comes out. And he starts yelling names at them of people who have been abducted.
Yep, they disappeared.
It's like, what are you doing?
Well, he's got principles, Jules.
Yeah, but, you're also like a freedom fighter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be cool.
It's very stupid. He's making a huge mistake.
So
he's passionate.
And people are like, Billy, shut the fuck up, man. And so she just walks over because a guy's got a gun. He's pointing it at him. Yelling in
German, which we don't understand. It's not just a German accent like everybody else.
Yeah, it's straight up in German, and they don't do a subtitle either. But you get the gist, I suppose. He looks very upset. So she just walks over and starts kissing on Billy. Like, shut the fuck up, And at the same time, the switchboard operator sees that. And she's like, oh, this bitch.
Betrayal.
Yep. So they go off to an alleyway, and he's just like, God, I'm sorry. And she's like, you got to be cool, man. And he's like, all right, well, are we doing this thing later? This sabotage thing? And she's like, yeah. There's going to be like a supply drop, right? That we're going to go get supplies. And so they scatter. And as she's washing dishes at the dad's house, she gets a note that the dad found that's like, hey, I know where your boyfriend's at. Meet me at 6:30. But she's going to meet Billy at 7. So she's like, I got to go do this. Tell him I'll, be there or whatever. So she's waiting for her guy to show up, and it's taking forever. And finally he does, and he's drunk. And Billy's waiting. He can't wait any longer. So he goes to meet the other freedom fighters. And the drunk guy gives her pictures, and he's like, this is your boyfriend's plane. We found his papers next to this body that's strewn out in this tree, and, he's dead. And she just is like, oh, my God. And so she goes home and lays face down in bed. And as soon as Billy gets to the drop area and he's about to announce himself, he sees some German soldiers scurrying about.
Well, he discovers like a wall of them have been hiding in waiting for the 6 resistance unit to flag down the airplanes doing the drop.
Well, so they start doing the flagging with their red flashlights, and Billy's in the tree line, and he's about to come up, but then he sees one guy running. He goes, "What the hell?"
Oh, yeah.
Gray coat. And then he looks over, and then he sees a guy over there, and some other guys, and then the truck, and then they put on the lights, and they just start shooting at him.
There's a ton of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole squadron, and they just waste those dudes. And Billy's just laying there like, So she's, weeping, and the boys are like, "Hey, we're hungry." And, she snaps at one of them because he's a dick. Yeah. She gives him bread, and he goes, "Mama always gave us jam. Where's the jam?"
"I'm not your mother."
Yeah, right.
Smashes something.
And I'm like, have you had jam this whole time?
And then I think yeah, she just can't do it because she's upset. And then Michael Gambon comes in, and you think he's gonna comfort that kid, and he's like, what does he say? "Eat your food."
Eat your food, yes. And then they go outside, and then the bigger brother hits the little one like, "Dude, it's Cate Blanchett."
That's sad, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Billy Crudup comes in like, "What the hell?" And the dad takes the kids inside.
"You did this, Cate Blanchett. You did this. You killed my friends."
Yep. He's throwing her against the wall, and she's like, "I didn't even know where the fuck we were going."
See, his accent work is great because I can't even get anywhere near it.
"We'll do this, and now they are dead."
That's a lot better than me.
And she's like, "Dude, I don't. I was meeting you. You were going to take me. You knew where they were going." He pulls out his pistol, and he's pointing it at her, and the dad jumps in. "No, son, she did not know. Oh, Francais." And he's like, shit. Okay, whatever.
He's playing Haunted again. Mm-hmm. Billy's got those goddamn haunted eyes.
Mm-hmm. So then, I think for the most part, next we see the teacher approach her, right? And he's like he reminds me of the guy from Ghostbusters 2,
The guy with the accent?
Yeah.
What is his name? He's in a lot of stuff.
I'm blanking on it completely. And I was just thinking about
Benson Pygel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you believed me.
And he goes, "Hey, Cate Blanchett." And she's like, "What the fuck are you? What do you want?" He goes, "I'm the teacher in town, and I know you got those Jewish boys, and I'm very influential. And if you don't become my friend," he says, "I'm gonna, turn him in." She's like, "Dude, bugger off," and turns around, and he pulls out a gun. "Turn around and look at me." And she does, and he's like, "You do what I say." And she's like, "All right, chill, man." And he comes up to her, and he starts touching her face.
I thought she might just kill him right here and there.
I told Callie, I was like, knee him in his crotch, throw him off the side of the thing you're on.
This guy's a wiener.
Yeah.
He's not really a threat. You have some training. He's a teacher.
Throw him off the side of, they're on a pretty big hill.
You got 4 inches on him.
With a ton of trees. If he doesn't die on the way down, he's going to be injured enough that you could just go down there and kill him.
Yeah.
I know that's not what she does. But Callie's like, "Well, what if you try to throw him and he grabs your coat?" I said, "That's why you knee him in the nuts."
Yeah.
Right? So he starts kissing on her and like rubbing his face on her boob and like just going right up her skirt. And she goes, "No, I'm not clean down there."
Does she say that?
She does. "You want me clean, right?" And he goes, "You better be clean tomorrow."
What?
Yeah.
How did I miss this dialogue? Did you have some sort of special dub?
No, I thought
she just said tomorrow.
No. She goes, "I'm not clean down there." And Callie's like, "What is that? Is she on her period? Or is she just got a dirty crotch?" Like,
yeah, why is it so dirty?
I don't know, but it's enough to turn him off. Enough to wait a day. And then she runs into her... Oh, no, right. I'm sorry. Before that, she ran in...
Wait, you have an explanation for the dirty vagina? There's something that explains it?
She went to town to find her handler, and he sees her. He's in a bar, and he just leaves. She's after him, like, "What the fuck's going on? Did you turn those people in? Was this a trap? Did you... Well, who knows what London wants? I should be in Birmingham," he says. And then he's like, "Look, did somebody approach you for this? Maybe in a bar or on a train, and that's how they get you, and it's all a game, and who knows what they want." And he goes, "Look, your plane leaves tomorrow at 2:15. Can you manage to not fuck that up?" So when the dude approaches her and he's like, "Tomorrow," it's almost like, well, she's leaving anyway, so just avoid the dude, right? But they're back at the dad's house, and Billy Crudup's there. The Nazis roll in, and with the teacher, and some dude is a part of some bureau for, nabbing Jewish people or whatever. He's not nearly as nefarious or charismatic or enjoyable to watch as Christoph Waltz.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say Hans Landa there.
Yeah. But, what are you going to do?
I think the bureaucratic edge to him, he just seems like very much a guy that works in an office. Mm-hmm. He's not intimidating like the angry, scary German soldier right next to him that he's clearly reporting to.
Yes.
It's just matter of fact.
He's just there to, check off another box.
I need 2 Jews, so
they're
answer these questions,
Billy
please.
Crudup's dad, show us your papers. Your papiers. And he's just pulling out just a trunk worth of shit from his pockets. And they're like, dude, these are, what? These aren't, you're supposed to say you're not Jew. You're not Jew. Where's your not Jew card? And he goes, well, what is this? I don't know. And they're like, all right. And the teacher chimes in. And he gives Cate Blanchett a look. And he goes, Billy Crudup, come with me. And she tries to be like, Billy. And they go, we know you got 2 Jewish boys. Either you give us them or we take your dad.
Because I was their teacher. What a piece of shit. He was the teacher of those little boys.
Yeah. He goes, I know all about boys. And I would have banged her, but she was dirty. I mean, clearly this is him like trying to get back at her a little bit, but also
he's swinging that little bit of power he got.
Very much so.
He really weaseled his way into their situation, the Nazis team.
So they keep asking the dad about his grandparents. So Billy Crudup just comes back in and he goes, his grandparents were Jewish, so I'm Jewish too then. And that's when the guy goes, well, technically you're only 1/8 Jew, so you're fine by us, cowboy.
Old man, come with us.
Yep. And she's like, oh, she needs clothes. And the one cool guard, he's like, hurry up, She runs upstairs and gets like photos and shit, throws them in a bag. It's like they're going to let him decorate his room. So they take the old man off, And he goes, I know you moved them boys. The teacher says that to Billy Crudup. And she did. They moved him
to the old lady.
From the
farmhouse in the beginning. Yeah.
Yep. Cate Blanchett's like, you guys got to stay here and be quiet. I'll be back as soon as I can and everything. And then that's when they took the dad. So she jumps on her bike and she's hightailing it over to the boys, but they're already grabbed them, throw them in the truck. And in fact, the old lady, she's like, hey, what are you doing? And they just fucking gun butt her in the face.
Hard, man.
Yeah, Callie was like, oh my God.
It was shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming, but it's the Nazis, man. I mean,
Yeah, they're not nice.
No.
Not nice guys.
No. And so now they got the old man and the boys. Cate Blanchett's like trying to figure out what's going on. So then we jump to the teacher.
Did you almost think while she was biking and catching up to the car, did you almost think she was going to take out a gun and kill
I thought she was going to do something, yeah. She doesn't. She jumps off the bike and picks up the old lady. It's like, she's old, Forget about her. Go after them boys. Because there's only 3 guards in the truck.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the 2 in the back had guns, and probably the one in the front too. But so then we see the teacher coming out of like a rousing bar. And who's on his arm?
Switchboard operator.
Yes.
Floozy.
I was wondering, like, man, maybe she overheard a Billy Crudup call and turned them in.
Oh, I bet you we're supposed to believe something like that.
Something,
yeah.
Right? Like, why are they together now? And so he's like taking her up to his apartment so he can put his little pecker in her.
This is great.
Yeah, he opens up the door, goes in, and brains just fly out. And he falls back. And,
super loud. 2 gunshots, right?
Yeah, Billy Crudup comes out of the house with his little gun, and she's, and she runs away. And he's about to shoot her, but he doesn't.
I kind of wish he did.
I would have. I mean...
You're with the bad guy. What are you doing with the bad guy?
Not only that...
He's a bad guy.
But she knows who you are.
Yeah.
And saw you kill this man. All bets are off, man. It's war. But he doesn't kill her. He runs away. So then Cate Blanchett told him earlier to meet her at the church. And he does. He's got a truck. The guy's giving him a ride, and he goes, hey, we got to get out of here. They saw me kill... And it's funny. I forget the name of the teacher. Let me see if it's in here. Renek is the name. In the book, it's Benek. But so where they filmed this, they were allowed to film in this town under one stipulation that all of the extras were town people. So it's really people around the town populating this town in the movie. But the mayor's name, some guy... His name was close to Benek, so they changed it to Renek.
That's stupid.
A B to an R? Like,
yeah.
What? That's silly. So he's like, well, this broad saw me kill him. I'm blown. This guy's going to give us a ride somewhere. Come with me. And she's like, no, I got to do something. I got to do something. He's like, what are you going to do?
You want to die? Is that why you're staying here? You want to die?
Yeah. He's like, I know what it's like. Sometimes it sucks being alive, but, what are you going to do? She's like, I'm staying. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm getting the Billy Crudup out of here. And he does. And at first I thought he was going to tell the guy to leave and he was going to stay. Or they get down the road and he's like, and he gets back. No, he just leaves. And so she runs back to the old man's house.
Man, it sure seems like she's got some sort of plan here.
It does, doesn't it?
She's going to save those fucking kids.
She's typing up something I thought was going to be a letter like, he's not a Jew.
When she tries to deliver it, yes, that's what I was thinking.
Because she's typing it up, they're banging on the door. It's unclear if they're there for her. I'm pretty sure they're there for Billy Crudup. She types up this letter, and they're banging on the door, and she runs upstairs, and they come in the house, and they're looking around, and first she hides behind like a hanging rug, but her feet are visible.
Like a curtain, y'all, but it's in a weird spot where you wouldn't have a curtain.
And it's in front of a door, too.
Yeah.
So she then goes into the hallway, and the guard that we've seen this whole time, who's kind of been cool, finally he bursts into the last door, and she's got a gun right in his face.
Man, she's great in this scene.
Yes.
It hints at like the badassness of this movie that you wish was there, but
the direness.
Yeah, her feral, I will fucking kill you look on her face is fantastic.
She's got the drop on him.
Oh my goodness.
He knows it.
Yeah, he's just staring at her like, yes, she will kill me. I need to make a choice.
So the guy at the end of the hall is like, anything? And he's just like, nothing. All right, let's get out of here. And so then she jumps on her bike's downtown. We see the old man and the boy are put on the train, and the guards are like, no belongings. And the boy's tugging at the sack that she gave the old man, and he's just like, all right, whatever. You're going to fucking Auschwitz or whatever. They're going to take it anyway. So now at this point, when she's crossing the bridge as the train's taking off, there's like a couple people like hiding behind the railing of the bridge. So it's like a stone bridge. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh shit, is this like an attack?
They got a move lined up.
No, they're all just running up to the train to give something to whomever's on it. The last time they're going to see any of these people, you know? And that's what Cate Blanchett is doing. Boys, old man, where are you? And the old man's like, hey, Cate Blanchett, I'm in this car. And she goes, take this letter. It's a letter for the boys from their parents. I'm like, okay. So he's reading the letter, and they're like, hey, mom and dad are fine. You know, we're just working, and we'll see you later. And
this is Roger Ebert's his biggest beef with the movie.
It seems
that she puts herself in such danger for such a minor thing.
It seems, and it's almost like cruel. Like, I mean, I guess it's nice to give them hope, but at the same time, it's not true. I mean, it'll carry them through, I guess.
They're not going to fucking find out, man.
Well, you never know, man. I mean, people survive those camps. It's not likely, but
they don't.
Well, we don't know that, do we?
In the book, it very specifically says
you read the book?
all three of them died. No, it's in the Wikipedia article.
So you didn't read the book.
They say the author makes it very clear, even though the movie leaves it open-ended, the author
movie
makes it very clear.
It's not open-ended, I guess, so much as they just don't touch on it.
Yeah, I mean, they go to the death camps. You die in the death camps.
More than likely.
Oh, it's a
Although
work
they could
camp.
be hiding in that shitter, like that one kid.
God damn. Yes,
that?
please make me think of Schindler's List. That sounds wonderful. The kids hiding in the shit, and they're the lucky ones. Yes.
So basically, it jumps a little bit forward in time. London's been bombed to fuck, and she's, doing something there, giving people ration cards or some shit. She goes home, and they're like, hey, we got a letter for you. It's odd, because her apartment is the same apartment.
It's so weird. She goes
untouched.
back to her life, man, with the same roommates.
Yeah, it's completely untouched. The girls are like, we're going to a movie. You want to come hang out with us? Now, here's the thing. The movie they're going to see has the word zombie in the title. Was that a thing back then? Zombie? Was that like...
Yeah, there's some sort of early black and white zombie movie. It's like an African thing, though.
Because I thought it was Romero who formalized...
He created those zombies, but no, yeah.
Using the term...
It's touched on slightly prior to this. What is this? This is probably 40...
45. I assume, because they're like, peace.
When does the fucking war end?
45.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 44 even. I don't know, man. So they're like, hey, here's a letter. She reads it, and it's word from her man. He's alive, and he's there. So she goes to meet him, And immediately you can tell that she's like well beyond that. And he's all like, hey, baby.
I know, you're rooting for them initially in this movie, and then you find out he's dead, and she goes through so much. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, so much.
Yeah, because after they take the dad, her and Billy Crudup are being held in the basement by a soldier who's eating cheese and drinking wine.
Oh my God, I fucking forgot about this.
Yeah, and I want to mention it because it's kind of important. This is how she bikes to go to the boys. Because after they take the old man, they're just like, hold them. And I don't think there had been any point in the movie where it seemed to suggest that her and Billy Crudup were at all interested in one another. Right? I mean, did you get that impression? I didn't.
They seemed very close, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really like a romantic thing. They're
No.
both suffering and going through something else.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, she got word that her boyfriend was dead, but it wasn't like, oh, on to the next. You know,
Yeah.
it was kind of just like working relationship. So she devises a plan like, hey, start kissing on me and start taking off. Let's pretend like we're about to have sex. And the guard, he's just like, hey, Schnell, 9. And he goes over to them to poke him with the gun. And Billy Crudup grabs the gun. She trips him. And he's just punching him sort of in the head. He's like, get out of here. I'll meet you at the church. And I'm like, grab one of them empty bottles and bludgeon this guy.
Yeah.
Shit needs to start getting real with these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so then that's the only thing between, aside from when she kissed him earlier to shut him up. But even that,
Which I mean, it worked on him though. Like he seemed to feel some romantic feelings at that moment.
I guess because he came back for her and was like, we need to leave together. And so after Peter's like, hey baby, I'm alive, I'm swinging, I was hurt for a little bit, but she's like, how long have you been in London? He's like, months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get away and see you.
Right. And he goes, I got some time, we should run away together. And she's like, nah.
I saw your dead body. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, that was the other guy.
The other guy.
I was just sitting in this farm for months.
I was sipping pina coladas.
What were you doing?
You went to Paris? Girl, you crazy.
Everyone I met died.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm changed, man.
Yeah.
I'm a changed man. And he goes, oh, shit, all right. So then she jumps back on the train, goes through the lavender fields, and heads to the old man's house. And who does she find?
Billy.
Yeah, pruning vines or something.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, hey. She's like, hey, what's up? And she goes, yeah, I never told you my real name. And what does she do?
Says, I'm Charlotte Gray.
The name of the movie.
Cut.
They say it in the movie. And they start just fucking kissing.
It's a good payoff, man.
I mean, it is.
I didn't know that I wanted them to be together so much until she saw her old boyfriend again. And then I was like, Billy. And when she's standing there,
yeah,
it's a really nice shot.
Because I don't even think they kiss goodbye when he leaves.
No.
At the church. I kind of would have liked just one moment that, I mean, you go through some shit, I guess. It is what it is. And then it just cut, boom, credits immediately. It's over. They kiss, and that's when I noticed his freckles. I was like, damn, dude's got some freckles.
He's a freckly boy.
Dirty looking motherfucker. I love it.
Pretty good. Not great.
Based on the synopses, it could have been some bullshit.
I thought it was going to be a really boring romance.
I thought it was going to be mostly about the romance, like English patient.
It was like
type
5% yearning behind like the rest of the story, an actual story. Unlike the High-Low Country, which was all just the yearning and birding, and no story.
This feels very much like a novel, unlike a collection of short stories, which I think is with the High-Low Country. It's just stringing these things together, pell-mell.
Stringing the posts together to keep all the cattle in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This felt sweeping. Not as grand as something else, but...
Man, it looked a lot better than fucking 1970, and this movie didn't look cheap like
good.
that fucking thing.
It looked good. I mean, even the bombed out London, that was a fucking nice set.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would give it a 6.5.
You're going to give it a 6.5?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I'm not immediately going to ratings, but I feel like I would...
Seems like you are.
See, I wanted to give it a 7 last night, but I feel like a 6.5 is good. Ebert's other thing was like, Billy tells her, good job, after they bomb that train. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, she doesn't really do anything. She does like wire the bomb, but anybody else could have done that. Mm-hmm. She doesn't really serve a purpose.
No, he even tells her, stay here. They don't go up and do the shooting.
They don't do a whole lot in this movie. They bomb that train, and that's about it.
I was kind of like, when the old man's train was taking off, now there was probably, I guess, guards on there, but you don't see any.
But you thought they're going to bomb that train and maybe save the kids?
That fucker.
Yeah.
Take it over, Go down the line. Why don't people go down the line more and blow up tracks? Then they can't take them any. And they're like, oh, I got to wait. And then you fucking get in there,
That's a good point.
Because on her side of the train, there's no soldiers.
Yeah.
And on the other side there are, but they're just leaving. I mean, I don't know, man.
It's, it's...
Now, I'm American.
Yeah.
So I can say these things because I'm very G.I. Joe gung ho.
Yeah. Bang, bang, shoot, American.
I mean? I'm loaded right now. I got a gun.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just me puffing my chest out. If I was there, I'd probably be like, "Oh God, don't hurt me." You know.
I keep secret bullets in my pee hole. 3 of them at all times.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. The long, sharp ones.
Oh,
like
God.
for a rifle.
The .308s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill an elephant.
Yeah, this guy's cocksure. Cocked and loaded.
Don't punch me.
Yeah.
Something bad will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an action adventure movie though.
It's
You
not.
know, it turns out it's just like a sad period drama.
Yeah, it's not Defiance.
They're not going to save those kids. They're not going to save the dad. Luckily, the teacher gets shot in the fucking face.
Big time.
I guess we can take comfort in the war crime tribunals, getting the people higher up in real life.
I guess, yeah. You know, there really weren't a lot of Nazis in this movie. They come through town. We see them there.
Well, they don't even speak any English, too, so they're almost like a backdrop when you do see them. They're not like real characters.
Yeah, we don't even know if they're aware of what's going on in camps. You know what I mean?
They keep that camp shit from everybody.
They do. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's very...
So they know they're going to a camp, but...
What did they call it? The what solution? Something?
Oh, like the final solution?
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They were doing some crazy shit, man.
Yeah, nah, I don't want to get into...
No, I don't either, because,
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
we're not qualified.
My arm hurts and I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
I can't be talking about
I
Nazi
should have smoked weed
experiments.
earlier.
So I say 6.5 on the movie. I'm just gonna keep giving fucking Billy 7s. I thought Billy was really good in this. I liked his accent. His character I found like charming and dedicated. When he was upset later, I felt it. I mean, I really think Billy Crudup's he's a real gem.
You know, after watching this, I think I prefer movies where he's not the lead.
Yeah, he's fun as a side
It
character.
allows him to sort of, not have to anchor the movie, which, not that he necessarily can't, but I find the ones where he's the lead to be the weakest of the ones that we watch. And looking at the Amazon listing, he isn't even in the 3 names listed for this movie.
Oh, really? I felt like he was number 2 when I looked it up somewhere else.
In the
Amazon.
credits, he's number 2.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I guess he's got is he the boyfriend? I'm thinking, oh, he's the boyfriend and then he's gone. Right? And then we see him and I'm like, oh, he's the French guy, but just this. No, you know, he's kind of recurring and he becomes a bigger part of the movie. So, yeah, I'd give the movie a 6. It was better than I thought it would be, better than it should have been.
I was entertained. I was not bored and ready to turn the movie off.
No,
And that happens to me a lot.
there really weren't. For me, what happens is I always think I know more than the movie does. So if something happens that I feel doesn't jibe with the way I would have made the movie, I'm always just like, you know, fuck this movie.
Harbinger.
There wasn't any moment where I was taken out of it. You know, I followed the story. I watched it. There were a couple of moments where, like I said, I think I got a little lost in some of the characters because everybody's speaking English and various forms of English. So I'm always just like, oh, he's French. They're in France. Yeah. You know. But overall, yeah, I'd give the movie a 6. I'm going to give Crudup a 7, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Billy's the real deal, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking man loves the craft.
Yeah.
He be working it.
He'd be working it.
He be working it.
And I don't necessarily like American actors trying to be this, that, or the other. But, I mean, Cate Blanchett, she's American, right?
No.
Where's she from?
She's British, right? I'm pretty sure.
Could
Dude,
be.
I just found out Michelle Williams is from, like, Montana. I thought she
sure.
was Australian.
Oh, God, no.
I got all sorts of lies in my head.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
I also thought Kate McKinnon was Australian.
You know what's really weird? Republicans are always like, Mexicans are coming here and taking our jobs. But they ain't saying dick.
But those fucking Australians?
And Brits.
Oh, I could kick this couch.
Major TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You know the guy from The Walking Dead?
Yeah?
He's British.
Fuck.
Right?
You know what they brought me at Denny's?
No.
Some beans with my breakfast. Fucking fuck.
Yeah.
I took my shoe off and I threw it at that waiter.
Yeah,
I hit him in the
yeah.
head and I ran.
Yeah, of course. You gotta get new shoes now, too.
Ain't gonna eat no fucking baked beans.
I just wish Republicans would get a little bit more upset
Yeah.
that all these, foreigners
Shut
are taking
all
our
the
acting
borders.
jobs, man.
God damn it, shut them all.
You know Batman? He's British. The last
Don't-
2 fucking Batman.
Listen.
One's a Welsh. Man, I
Just
tell
do
you.
not. Just please tell me that Spider-Man's safe.
Ooh, you got a rude awakening, Craig. Yeah. Good movie.
Good movie.
Won't watch it again.
No.
Wouldn't tell anybody not to watch it.
Glad that I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good thing about the podcast. I would never fucking watch Charlotte Gray.
Gosh, no.
I always thought it looked boring when I saw just the box. Didn't even read about it. Looked boring.
Yeah.
I like Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, I like her in some things. I really liked her in The Aviator.
Look me in the eye. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, she's, Yeah. All right.
Yeah. No.
No,
there's something magnetic about her.
She is I think her more so than a lot of other actors. When again, almost like Billy, when she's able to really broaden the scope of the character she's playing, I think it works to her benefit because she's very creative and can do things. I guess that's it.
Let's plug, promote. This is the Billy Crudup. All right, hey, this is a month from now. You're so behind on editing, Jules. You're only 4 ahead.
And I'm even worse now because I can barely look at a fucking monitor.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing these dumb glasses.
I think the glasses look
They're like
good.
blue blocking.
Check us out on Instagram.
Yep.
We got a bunch of friends. I add so many people. People are like, why? Can I ask you why you keep adding me? You've tried to add me several times. And I said, I'm really sorry. You're on a list. Yep. There's a list of like 11,000 people. Wow. I didn't recognize that I was clicking you. You must be clicking deny. And I see a follow button and I'm hitting it.
That's crazy.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop adding people.
Yeah.
So I stopped adding people on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can follow us there at We Doing Filmographies.
How many people are we following on there?
It's like 1,500 for our like 130 followers.
How many people are following us?
Like 130 people.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter at Do Filmographies.
Mm-hmm. We're on Facebook.
We're on Facebook now.
We're doing Filmographies.
Oh boy. We doing Filmographies.
Yeah, we doing.
I thought you said where. Look at us on Facebook. We want to be a friend there.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Do you get a different picture? I used a different picture for us.
Yeah.
Woo! Check us out on that YouTube.
Yeah, we're on the YouTube.
Guess what the name is?
We Doing Filmographies.
We Doing Filmographies.
And of course we're on like podcast apps. So, I don't know, rate us or some of them have like a star, some of them like a thumb up.
You want to review us?
Rate, review. I mean, if they allow that,
Just call Stitcher and tell them how you feel about the podcast.
Yeah. Call Tim Apple and say.
Tim Apple. Yeah. It's a very niche podcast.
Yeah.
At least we're not just like, hey, we're the two friends that make jokes and talk about current events.
The thing is it's sort of a niche podcast, but they're not really coming for that. They're coming for the banter.
No, I think they're only coming for the...
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're coming. But,
But they're staying for you and me.
Yeah.
That's nice. Email us
Shingle
at
Boys.
WeDoingFilmographies at gmail.com.
Yeah.
We are the Shingle Boys. I have been in pain for weeks now. I slept 2 hours one night last week. It was fucking crazy.
I'm waiting for it. That's the thing.
God bless. I hope you get through this without any of the terrible
Because I tell people I got shingles and they're just like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. And I'm like, it's not that bad.
Dude, the medication I'm on, my farts, fucking heinous. It's like 10 rotten
medication?
eggs when I fart. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
The gabapentin.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Oof. And it made me sad one day. So sad. I told you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I woke up. I had some weird dreams the night before. About an hour after Jenny left, about 2 hours into my pill, I felt so sad.
Oh, God.
I was out doing yard work while Jack was playing video games. I was with Max. And like about ready to cry constantly.
Jesus.
And then I started playing sad music while I did the yard
Oh,
work.
God.
I really leaned into it, man. I don't know.
Good
It's
Lord.
fucked up. Okay, I've been Jason.
I've been Jules.
And we the Shingle Boys.
Yeah.
Good night.
Later.